bags where horror lies.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 122 here on Body Bags. I'm your host, Moodz616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, week 122 is here, and I've got another one here from Wild Eye Releasing, and this is one that I knew absolutely nothing about, like most of Wild Eye Releasing's films that they release as of late. Don't know anything about them. I will say I wasn't overly stoked to actually check this one out because it's, with zombie films these days, sometimes they are completely hit and miss. Sometimes you get some good ones, sometimes you get some bad ones. You get more bad than the good with these low budget type zombie films. This one right here is from 2015 and it is called Absolute Zombies. Honestly, man, right when I saw the title of this film, I was like, no. But then I saw the running time, and I was like, well, it's only 75 minutes, so who knows? It might be worth the watch. But let's get into the synopsis of this one. Basically, it's about these two friends that are dealing with. They're living in this post-apocalyptic world and it's full of zombies and they're just there surviving together. Basically, it's just the story of these two going through this world and having to deal with, of course, it says on the back here, cannibalistic marauders. Of course, they have to deal with some evil scientists and, of course, the zombies themselves. There's really not a lot of narrative to this film. It's just about these survivors that are just going through all this stuff and going through the motions of survival. So that's pretty much the whole setup to the film right there. Now my thoughts on this one. Well, first of all, let's start with the good. Now, I really did kind of dig the synth music in this one. And that's about it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let's get into the things I didn't like about this film. Now, this movie right here starts off with probably one of the worst opening scenes ever. It gives you in the opening scene what you're about to watch for 75 minutes, and that's pure utter shit. This one has some of the worst effects I've ever seen in a film. It's beyond me. Like, pretty much everything in the movie is CG'd, but it's like this really kind of cheap computer generized effects. They use a lot of green screens in this film on top of that, which is just like, it makes the look of this film so bizarre. They even use stock footage in this film, which is so strange, and there's even odd parts of like animation, so you can just kind of visualize what I just said there, put it all together, and you've got this really strange visual. It kind of looks like the worst video game ever coming from a land that we don't even know of. It's really fucking bizarre. Like, I was just blown away at how cheap this movie really was. Of course, it's super low budget, and that's why they had to do these things, use the green screens and use the cheap CGI and things like that. But I just couldn't get over that. Like, every scene was like that. It was just unbelievable to watch. It was like watching the worst car accident and just not being able to look away. I just really couldn't. And, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, it's 75 minutes. I can deal with this. But man, is it ever funny? It's just absolutely no narrative to the film. It's just about these survivors in this post-apocalyptic world. And there's lots of gore, like CG gore and effects in this film. It's pretty much all effects, but it's just so laughable and so poorly done that it's really hard to take serious. It had me laugh in a few places. The one thing about this movie that really kind of bugged me, though, right from the opening scene, was they're trying to explain, kind of give you a little bit of a backstory in this one. And the problem was the audio was so low in the mix. Like, the sound effects and everything, the sound was okay, but the audio track in this was very low and muffled, and it was really hard to hear. I was turning it up and stuff, and it was really affecting, like, the backstory for me. So I kind of had to rewind and kind of rewatch a little bit and stuff. But yeah, the audio wasn't great. It wasn't like, that really choppy cutout audio. It was just really down in the mix. And I do kind of know what I'm talking about because I've done audio on films before. And I was just like really surprised at it because, like I said, the sound effect track was loud, audio was super low. So it was really annoying to listen to. The other odd thing is that I looked this film up and it's from the US. Now, the characters all talk like they were European, like German and from these other countries. And it was just kind of throwing me for a loop. I had no idea really what was going on. I was like, it's just so fucking bizarre. But yeah, overall, it's just like watching like the worst video game. It really is. You know, there's even CG bugs flying around and things like that, and just every kill, you know, of course heads are just exploding left and right in this one. It's pretty funny, but all CG'd effects, and like I said, with no narrative, it's just like you're watching 75 minutes of a car accident. It's really, really bad. And to top it off, like, they keep kind of throwing things into the film because there's no real narrative. So they're like, okay, let's throw this idea into this. Let's throw this idea to it. And towards the end, it just kind of made me laugh though too, because it kind of turns into like a Nazi exploitation film. They come across these evil scientists in the third act, and there's like Nazi signs, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, you know, this one had everything in the world possible with bad effects and things like that, and then they just turned this into like a Nazi exploitation film in a way. It was just, it had me laughing. It really did. But I have to say, man, this is one of the worst films I've actually watched in a long time. It's one of those films that's so bad, it's actually bad. But oddly enough, I couldn't stop watching it. It's just one of those deals. I just wanted to get to the end to see what exactly is going to happen, what's going to transpire from this really non-existing, you know, story. It was just really kind of strange, but I don't know. I don't really know what to say about this one. It was just so incredibly bad. It's one of those films you might even want to check out because it is actually so bad. But I don't really know what else to say about this one. If I had to rate this, I'm going to give it a solid. What, solid? I'm going to give this one a real soft shitty one. I'm probably going to give it like a 1 out of 10. It was just, I'm sorry, but this one was just absolute shit is what it should have been called. For lack of a better adjective, but it was pretty bad. It was awful. So, wow, man. I haven't seen such a bad film since I watched Morbid this year. This is definitely tied for the worst film I've watched all year, but, Absolute Zombies, man. Just nothing good about this one. It was a train wreck beyond train wreck. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for week 122 here on Body Bags. I will check you guys next week with another review. Peace out, homies. Absolute Zombies, welcome to the end of the world. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to week 122. Oh, it is week 122. 122. Oh, yeah. Fuck, never mind. Unique, game-changing zombie movie dementia. What the fuck does that even mean? Exist in its own video game-inspired world of madness and gore. Now that is kind of an interesting quote. Jesus Christ, Wild Eye.